evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome once again to the Fun Show here at Big TV. This is the January 4th, 2016 edition.
Yes.
Happy New Year, everyone.
Happy New Year.
Welcome to 2016 and the Fun Show here at Big TV. Sitting at the keyboard trying to find a tune among the black and white keys.
I can't pick up the tune. I mean, not with my
Auld
voice.
Lang Syne.
Huh?
Auld Lang Syne.
Okay.
And days of Auld Lang Syne. Michael Sallin at the keyboard. Playing away. He's wearing his purple shirt today. This is his
You're rocking that purple shirt.
New Year's thing. I'm Arch O'Reilly, and sitting between us is our favorite new panelist, Olive Miner.
Olive Miner Glassman.
Oh, okay.
OMG.
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 She box and B flat major.
And acting as her platform for tonight is Kira Miner.
That's me.
Who is really our favorite member. But
she is our favorite.
We're trying to keep Olive entertained on things.
She's just so beautiful.
We haven't been here. This is our first time since shortly before Christmas. Yeah. And we're back, wishing you all the best. And in the meantime, we watched a couple of miserable, depressing performances by the organization formerly known as the New England Patriots.
I don't even want to talk about them, but if you must bring them up.
Well, I'm just wondering whether there's a provision that allows them to decline politely the invitation to the playoffs. Since they clearly have no business going to the playoffs, it would be nice if they could gracefully step aside and let a team with a prayer go.
Well,
because they not only don't have a chance, they don't have a prayer.
Does Coach Belichick pray much? That's another thing.
He does not look like a prayer to me.
A pray or play?
Pray. He said
pray.
He said pray.
Well, we don't know.
Well, we don't know.
You don't know. But can't judge a book by its cover.
But all I saw tonight that Tom was walking around and telling everybody he was going to give his best,
as we would expect him to.
Well, when you have a Dominican Sue land on your ankle, it becomes a little difficult to do. A 310-pound defensive lineman,
310 pounds.
Who hit him late from behind and rolled up his ankle.
But they didn't do any of these late hits.
They played the rest of the game. They just retaped it,
Yeah, but they didn't. There's no action from the refs on stuff.
Oh no, of course not. Of course not.
Because it's deflate gate.
You're allowed to do anything to the Patriots.
Yeah, well,
apparently
Roger Goodell has given free license.
He's relishing those things. He's like to see everybody killed on the Patriots, I think, beat up.
Well, it comes down to the fact that they just have no offensive line, which makes it very, very difficult.
Oh, that's a terrible injustice for Belichick. I don't know if you could.
Why is it an injustice to Belichick?
Well, he's a defensive mastermind.
They've had like 76 players play this year. They just had incredible injuries, one after another.
Well,
and they don't have an original player on their offensive line anymore. They're playing guys on the offensive line who've been on the team for 10 days.
Okay.
Okay.
It's not a knock on the team to say that it's hopeless at this point.
I hope everybody out there had a beautiful New Year's celebration.
Yes.
And
did you do anything?
I watched. I really watched the ball drop? And I watched the ball drop.
Did you make a resolution?
That's a good question. I'll turn it back to you.
No. I threw out the
My
question
resolution
first.
is
to remember to ask you if you made a resolution. That was his resolution.
Is to find out and to learn the identity of this person that's been calling us in our home two or three times a day for months now. And I just like to meet this person and tell them what a wonderful, wonderful time they have made for my life.
Well, in this day and age, they
All right, give me their information. I'll see what I can do.
No, in this day and age, they probably can trace those things back.
They
Exactly.
can.
Yeah,
They can. I want to surprise this person.
I actually think. Well, this person might be one of our listeners, so we probably
I'm
shouldn't.
hoping.
Yeah.
We probably shouldn't tell the plans, but
Yeah, don't give out the
Well, all right,
plans.
that's my
All right,
resolution.
moving
I
on.
want your
That's just-
resolution. All right.
I'm still working on mine. I know I might have shared one, but I'm still,
Yeah, I like the one you shared.
But the public one, it
okay.
would be a little modified.
Okay.
So I'll have to work on that. Ask me next week.
Okay.
Arch?
well, that leads to why my resolution is unchanged. I don't make resolutions.
That's
There
every
you
year
have
he
it.
says the same thing.
All right.
He doesn't make
Consistency,
resolutions.
you know?
Okay.
That's what we're counting on.
And then I don't have to say I made a resolution, but I can't say what it is.
And then wait a minute. Then there's
Fair
the
enough.
great. Then there's the great disaster at the Globe and the Herald, New York Times, and all these papers that get delivered.
Oh, is it all the papers? I thought it was
What
just the
happened?
Globe.
None of the papers are being delivered. They
Really?
They let go all of the other men and women who were delivering
They
them.
changed delivery companies, and
Really?
apparently the new company can't do the job.
Well,
Really?
yeah, they changed companies, and they had to hire 500 new deliverers of the papers.
And for some reason, they seem to be having difficulty figuring out what their roots are, which is highly unusual.
ridiculous.
It's not that complicated to deliver.
Well, it comes
the
down to
13-year-old on a bicycle
evidently
can
this
figure it
other
out.
company offered a cheaper kind of a delivery
and
program.
that's what you're getting, a cheaper program.
Exactly.
you're getting a
You get what you pay for.
Yeah, you got what you pay for.
Yep.
And there's nothing in the contract that says there'll be any penalties.
And print newspapers can't afford that these days
No.
because they're just barely in business to begin with.
I don't
Yeah.
think Mr. Henry, is that his name, John Henry?
Does he own the Globe now?
I think he is the one who owns the Globe. Yes, he bought the Globe.
Well, his soccer team isn't doing that well either.
And the Red Sox didn't do too well. But they gave
Still
some
a very
pitcher
wealthy man.
a couple of $100 million or something. They gave some guy.
I don't know.
Yes, they did.
All right.
Okay.
Okay.
Well,
I'm sure they
anyway,
did, but ask me if I care.
you don't care. Speaker Ryan said he plans
Speaker Ryan.
to if they get
That's the
a
new Speaker of
Republican
the House.
Okay.
if they get a Republican president, he says he's going to deconstruct every Obamacare piece of legislation. He's going to repeal all of them. He says that's his New Year's
All right, well,
resolution, I
that's-
guess.
Yes, and
Another positive.
he's also promised that he will outlaw every form of contraception.
Oh yes, well we know how much.
Apparently they think our population is not large enough in this country.
Just don't understand any of this.
They don't want any immigrants, but they think we should be producing more children of our
That's
own.
it. Okay.
Oh my goodness.
You know about the L Street Brownies. Would you have gone into the water over there at City Point?
I'd like to think that I could do something like that once.
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 Yeah.
You know,
I
I
did
mean,
something like that once.
Well,
a
if you
long
were going to
time
do
ago.
it once, this was the year.
Yeah.
from what I hear, what was
Yeah.
it, like bath water or something
No,
out there?
compared to some other years, it was like bath water.
Okay.
It was 10 degrees higher, I think. I don't know.
Were they all disappointed that it wasn't colder?
No, they were all shivering the same when they came out. They all.
probably didn't know the difference.
Of course,
No.
in Moscow, they have to chop a hole in the ice in order to jump in. So
That's
that,
scary.
Do you think Putin would jump in?
Oh yeah,
of course.
Oh,
Oh,
absolutely, he
absolutely.
would. Oh, without
With
a
no-
doubt.
with no
Nope.
shirt on.
Nope, he wouldn't. He wouldn't blink. He'd be like, "Yes,
He'd probably be in a Speedo.
yes, of course he would."
It's
be.
kinda
I
sad.
can visualize that. That's scary.
But I congratulate the people.
I am Father Russia. I am tough.
I
That's him.
congratulate the people in Africa,
Which people in Africa?
the
are you
ones who were
congratulating?
getting Ebola.
Yes.
Three little countries.
So they're not getting it anymore.
It's been ended. They don't. It's still lurking.
But the epidemic has
Ebola
ended.
has come and gone, and it has been gone for longer periods of time than it's been active. The fact of the matter is there is nothing to indicate this is any different than ever.
Thank you, Dr. O'Reilly.
Yes.
Thank you. I
We were
appreciate
waiting. We needed that.
Okay.
Seriously.
Okay.
I do have a degree in biology, so
Hey, works for us.
I read Senator
I actually got an A in immunology. So
immunology, and you were running a laboratory there years ago. You told me.
well, I think I discovered an excellent blood test for cancer, but that's a whole different story.
Okay.
It had to do with the excessive fluorescence in the alpha albumin of the blood serum. Anyway,
Okay. Well, that's
our
good.
friends down here at
I definitely want to hear more about that, though. So that's to be.
I want to
continued.
talk
on
about
air.
Senator
understand
Cruz has a new tax plan.
Who?
The Speaker,
the Canadian.
yeah,
Okay.
Speaker
No,
DeLeo
he's
says.
is he the Canadian? No.
Yes, Cruz
He's
is
the Canadian?
he's the senator from Texas.
He's the Canadian.
Yeah, he's the Canadian.
Okay.
I read that
Tom
tax
Cruise.
plan.
That's
Okay.
not his name.
Okay.
I read
Got
that
it.
thing. It was a half a page in the New York Times. I read it twice, and I couldn't understand what the heck it was about. Something wrong with me.
Which means you know as much about it as he does.
I
Pretty
couldn't.
much.
And
couldn't
anybody
decipher it, then there's a
anybody that
problem.
read that thing has a headache. They really, it's
That's
tough going.
ridiculous.
Basically, I can condense it for you. If he didn't call you personally to explain it, it means you'll pay more.
That's it.
And the people he
Okay.
called personally to explain it will pay next to nothing.
Okay.
Alrighty then.
Why don't
And
we?
they're all
Why don't we
billionaires.
get money
Of course.
and send them on a safari to Africa, to Zimbabwe,
Why
or
don't we
someplace?
send him back to Canada?
And who knows? One of the animals may get taken.
What's his name? Ted? Is that it? Ted Cruz?
I think so.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyways,
We're so convinced he's going to be the next president. you know?
and while we're at it, the poor people of the Midwest,
Yes,
tornadoes,
my old hometown.
floodings,
Yeah,
St.
Missouri.
Louis,
What bad? Something
St.
bad
Louis,
had.
It was very bad.
I was thinking
Terrible.
about
It was
you when I
very
heard
bad.
that.
snow, freezing, everything. It couldn't be worse.
And, you know,
And a
the
lot of
things-
people died.
It's interesting how when you have a Mississippi River flood, it'll hit places like Baton Rouge and stuff in about a week. You know, it just
Really?
moves.
Got a
All
lot-
that water
thousands of
doesn't
miles.
disappear.
Yeah.
It just
Okay.
moves downstream.
Okay.
You know, it's like an anaconda swallowing something. This bulge of water just moves down the Mississippi River Valley,
Okay.
and
And the people have
So-
to drink that stuff after they
I mean-
purify it too.
the water's very good there.
Thanks.
It really is very good. I remember as a kid going to the water treatment plant, the St. Louis water treatment plant, up right where the Missouri River joins the Mississippi River.
Okay.
And there was an old story, I think came from Mark Twain, about how the riverboat men would dip a cup into the river and let it sit so the mud would settle to the bottom and then drink the water off the top. Well, that's essentially true. This water comes in brown as tea and ends up being treated. And what they put out is like sludge.
It tastes lousy though.
No, it tastes great.
No, I tried it and I hated it.
Oh, well, you were over on the other side.
Yes.
You were on the other side of the river.
Yes.
You were in the state of Illinois.
Ask her if she'd like it.
Well, how
I'm
does
not,
she
I'm
know?
You were
not
in
down
East
with
St. Louis?
sludge water.
I was in St. Louis.
Oh.
You were.
Yeah.
What were you at? Fort Leonard Wood or something like that?
I was at the what was it? South. That college, big university.
The Salukis, Southern
Yeah,
Illinois
Southern
University.
Illinois. Yeah, we were down
The
there. We were
Salukis.
all down.
Got it.
The Salukis. It's a
They
nice
had-
looking dog.
They
by
had
the way.
interesting names for teams
As a
there,
dog?
right? Southern Illinois was called the Salukis, and do you remember what the mascot of St. Louis University was? The Billikens. Whatever the heck a
What's a Billiken
Billiken
is?
I
We
don't
have
know
no
what a
idea what a
Billiken.
Billiken
Well, I
is.
saw that tiger down in Baton Rouge.
Louisiana?
LSU.
LSU.
Yeah. Okay.
LSU. All right,
right.
ladies and gentlemen, it is now time for the BIG Unrehearsed Thespian Society's presentation for this evening, which comes skimmed right off the top of the vault from not too far back. if you can remember the time that there was a man named John McCain. The author of this
remember that
play
guy.
was nice enough to never mention Sarah Palin anywhere in it, which
Okay.
showed a good deal of degree. The title of this epic is Rubbish Part 2.
Part 2. And you're supposed to ask me what happened to Part 1.
We never did Part 1. What happened to Part 1?
Did it go in the rubbish?
Too silly, and it was just more rubbish. Okay.
It was actually written by your grandchildren.
Yeah, they had a lot to do with Part 1.
Gotcha.
And they even admitted it was terrible.
Not that he would not admit to his own work being occasionally silly, but
I understand.
Yeah, my
and this-
stuff.
It took on a whole new
But
light.
you have to let it settle down in the glass.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. Drink right off the top.
That's
Yes.
it. Okay.
That
All
was
right,
funny.
action. Well, I'm broke.
So what?
Nothing new for you.
Well, doesn't matter if I'm tapped out, maxed out, insolvent.
Well, I suppose money's important.
Buys things.
It's what you get with it.
Well, intrinsically speaking.
But what does it mean?
That pays the rent or mortgage.
Well, I'm not homeless.
And not going to a foreclosure auction.
Don't be disingenuous.
That's my favorite word.
Okay, spell it.
Guys gotta have sustenance.
It's just a transitional stage.
He wants a get-rich scheme again.
Well, the presumptives were interviewed by Reverend Rich Warren on TV.
Saddleback Church in California.
He asked them to define what rich meant to them.
Obama said 150,000 and up, I think.
And McCain said about $5 million.
Guess he's a Republican, but it was all good-natured stuff.
Audience chuckled.
But I felt John was more relaxed than that.
Well, Barack's response was a little more academic.
Evangelicals.
Faith and some laughs, those guys.
McCain, however, favored charter schools and choice.
And get rid of bad teachers.
And Obama liked merit pay if teachers had input.
Well, they did split on abortion.
Although Obama deplored it, but wanted choice for women.
McCain didn't approve of stem cell research.
But skin cells might be a little more acceptable.
John named the liberal justices he didn't agree with.
Barack was not happy with the conservatives.
They're both against evil.
Obama
Had voted against the war in Iraq.
McCain talked freedom there.
John's POW experience in Vietnam.
Well, they're both patriots.
President Bush always brought up his leadership qualities.
So did they.
McCain was at his best.
Oh, Obama was excellent with this group.
But with a blue-collar crowd?
Might have to tone down the rhetoric.
Well, they both supported faith-based institutions.
On
But,
balance, I enjoyed the exchanges.
Bush is leaving us with a huge deficit.
Preacher didn't talk economics.
But he sure wasn't tentative in his questions.
Which reminds me, I still got financial problems.
Write jingles.
Yeah, retrain.
Now you want me to become a baker?
Hands-on approach is good.
It's kind of therapy.
Thanks, but no thanks.
It's a work in progress.
Then stick to pastry.
Will all this get me rich?
Discombobulating.
Grandson uses that word.
Maybe what I need is an ombudsman.
George likes hamburgers.
And he's not bankrupt.
Everybody likes fast food.
He's not getting rich either.
I could sell magic,
You'd have to go to Wall Street.
That's just competition.
but they do make money disappear.
So does our government.
And the Chancellor of the Exchequer?
Yeah, that sounds like a chewing gum.
Brits have an unusual country.
Checkmate is stalemate.
Money is power.
But is it happiness?
Philanthropists give it away.
Keeping it's better.
Like a nice, soft sweater.
Still, shoe stores need cobblers once in a while.
You know what? Juggling might be fun.
Putting trousers on houses.
What's that mean?
Yeah, stick to Monopoly.
Perplexing.
Paradoxically,
Recycling.
Yeah, trash never goes out of style.
people make money at it.
And lots of friends at the flea market.
Face it, everything's been done.
Gore knows what he's talking about.
Good, then let him do it.
Well, I can't afford an elephant.
McCain
McCain.
could use one.
You can't fit it in a bus.
That's straight talk.
And John's no illusionist.
Obama wouldn't mind Hillary's disappearance.
Oh, 20 million or so could make it happen.
I still haven't heard a decent jingle
Like a secret weapon?
Aha, the enemy will die laughing.
like this show.
Fastest chef in the West?
Instant pizza.
We haven't had a real idea yet.
What happened to imagination?
Oh, it's right there in the pizza dough.
Unadulterated persecution.
I'm befuddled.
Sounds reasonable.
But seriously, where's my windfall?
A new chain of shops, perhaps.
What, Monsieur and Monsieur?
Grasping at straws.
I feel stressed out.
Are we saying we should give up?
No, we can't quit now.
Yes, I can see the light at the end of the tunnel.
It's a candle.
How about condos in a live volcano?
Yeah, plenty of free heat.
Yeah, and the insurance agents will love it.
You can't have everything.
Torture is very popular now.
Well, McCain opposed Guantanamo and Abu Ghraib.
And waterboarding is passé.
But the detainees won't talk.
They're too sensitive.
You place the restrained one in a chair before a large TV.
At least 19 inches?
Digital, of course.
Plug in a pirated CD of The Fun Show, volume turned off.
Pretty simple and cheap.
But is it effective?
After 20 minutes of silent viewing,
And the subject is still reluctant to speak.
You turn up the sound, loud, right?
it always works.
Brilliant.
Guaranteed results.
Always send more free CDs.
You've just solved my insolvency.
What are friends for?
And I don't even like you.
I can't give you anything but love, baby. Blackout. There it is,
That's
folks.
It's very funny. That reminds me of one of the funniest movies. What I thought at the time was one of the funniest movies ever made. Do you remember a movie called 1, 2, 3
I do remember.
with Jimmy Cagney and
Yeah, I hated it.
Forrest Buckles?
Yeah.
And
No clue.
I didn't like it.
really,
It'd
I
be
thought
like
it was
me
one of the
asking you
funniest
if you've
movies
heard
ever.
about Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure.
The Marx Brothers all have all
was-
theirs
it was
were
in
funny.
Berlin.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
And-
I didn't like that movie.
And the funniest part of it was they were trying to torture this guy in East Berlin, and they tied him up to a chair, and they put on a record of Itsy Bitsy Teeny Weeny Yellow Polka Dot Bikini with the hole off center.
Oh.
You ever heard a record with the hole
Yes,
off center?
I thought-
So it goes, it was an Itsy Bitsy Teeny Weeny
Yeah,
Yellow Polka Dot
I
Bikini.
remember that.
That you remember.
Okay, so the speed was off.
Yeah, and
Okay.
they're just playing that to drive the guy crazy.
Well, there
Did it
you
work?
are.
Great torture technique.
Okay.
Yeah, it is.
I hear
Yeah.
now that they use heavy metal music and they blast it really loud for like hours and hours and hours on end, like screaming.
They use that to get like hostage takers out of buildings and stuff like that. They have for a long time. Speaking of which, we have those great survivalists or whatever they want to call themselves out there in the West Coast now occupying a federal building
I think
on a
that's
game reserve.
Very dramatic. In Nevada? Oregon.
Oregon. And they're in a standoff with the feds and
Yeah, his
stuff.
father did it last time.
Yeah. They're people with a history of it.
But they say that they want to get them out of prison. They've been sentenced to 5 years
Yeah.
in prison.
Well, their basic thing is that they believe that because this is public land,
They
they
should-
have the right to expropriate it for themselves.
Yeah, not pay anything.
Their vision of the public is them,
They are.
not the public, them.
Yeah.
You know.
And our government isn't saying anything about this at all. There's no noise about it at all.
No, but there's a lot of guys with big guns out there.
I'd say so. I'd say they have a lot of guys with big guns. Well,
Incidentally, I still object to the fact that this place down in Plain Ridge, or I don't know, is it Plainville, Plain Ridge, whatever it is.
It says Plain Ridge.
Plainville, this place that calls itself the Plain Ridge Casino. First of all, it bothers me they're allowed to call themselves a casino because that's exactly what they're not.
Okay.
But now they're making like $100 million less than they anticipated. Just relax.
which one are we looking at?
I think we have time.
You
Yes.
think so?
I think we're okay. Don't we have 3 minutes and 11 seconds?
Oh, okay.
10?
Anyway, so they're they have one up in Maine that didn't get as much money as they thought, so they want to get their taxes cut.
Okay.
So the Boston Globe is warning them not to ask for a reduction in their taxes. That it's gambling, folks, and when you lose, you have to pay up just like the people who come to your place and lose.
Okay,
have
but
to pay up.
DeLeo said no income tax increase in Massachusetts for next year. But he didn't tell the MBTA that about fares. Because it
Well-
looks like they're going after
Yeah.
an increase.
They're definitely going up.
Well, it's quid pro quo. If you're not going to raise taxes,
What else? What other
then,
choice do they have?
Then and you want to run the T. Everybody objected when the T doesn't show up and when it doesn't run on time and stuff.
How can the riders get back at these people? Is there any way the riders can even it up?
It is one of the best transit systems in the United States of America. You shouldn't be talking about getting back at them.
Yes.
Try
I might be.
living in this city without it.
Yeah,
That's true.
exactly.
All right, now play.
Okay, thanks.
You sure?
Good night, Irene. Good night, Irene. Irene, good night. Irene, good night. We'll see you in our dreams. Boom, boom. Good night, Irene.
Good night, Irene.
Everybody, from the fun
Happy New
show
Year,
here
everybody.
at Big TV.
And Kira's keyboard.
Have a
Oh my goodness!
have a
And
happy
Olive.
Have a happy
Olive.
New Year.
Happy New Year to all of you.
To the best of my knowledge, we will be back. I know I said that the last time I was on, but I do believe that we will be
We
back
believe you
We
this
will
time.
be
We will be
back.
back.
next Monday
I didn't
night.
believe you last time. This time I believe you.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's okay. You're in the clear.
But you didn't say you didn't believe me.
Well, you know, it was behind the scenes stuff.
Okay. Behind the scenes
Yes,
stuff.
exactly.
Baby,
Good
it's
night,
cold
everybody.
Baby, it's cold outside.